Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix today.
Oh, Order of the Phoenix.
One of my favorites, actually.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts, and we're going to kind of go through and look at what makes this book such a turning point, I think, in the series.
Yeah.
It's not just about Hogwarts and, Quidditch anymore. Harry's dealing with, real-world problems, like a ministry in denial.
Right.
A society that's kind of on edge. And then his own teenage angst is just
Yeah.
reaching a boiling point.
Totally.
So let's start with that summer at the Dursleys,
Okay.
which is anything but carefree.
Yeah, it's interesting how Rowling uses this really mundane setting to build this feeling of claustrophobia
Right.
and isolation for Harry.
Mm.
He's trapped, physically, obviously with the Dursleys, but also emotionally. He's cut off from the wizarding world.
Right.
And that prickling scar, it's this constant reminder
Yeah.
of Voldemort's return.
Of a threat.
That threat that everyone else seems to be ignoring.
It's like he's carrying this, weight, this burden of knowledge.
Exactly.
And no one will believe him.
Right. And he even considers contacting the Daily Prophet, which is
So ironic.
ironic because
They're spreading the misinformation.
exactly. It really highlights this theme, I think, of truth versus propaganda,
Right.
which we see even more of as the Ministry tightens its grip over the wizarding world.
Right.
And this early frustration, this feeling of being silenced, I think it really fuels Harry's more rebellious actions later in the book.
Totally. And then, that terrifying encounter with the Dementors.
Oh, yeah.
In Little Whinging.
Right.
It's not just like a random attack. It's
Yeah.
like a targeted
Very much.
aggression towards Harry. I mean, even Dudley's in danger.
It is. And this attack is significant for a couple of reasons. First of all, it really shatters this illusion of safety
Right.
in the Muggle world.
Yeah.
Right. That darkness that Harry's been fighting
Yeah.
is now spilling over,
Yeah.
threatening those he cares about. And second, I think it really exposes the Ministry's incompetence.
Yes.
Or even willingness to endanger Harry
Right.
to maintain their facade of control.
And let's not forget Mrs. Figg.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly she's like, this seemingly ordinary neighbor
Right.
turns out to be a squib.
Yeah.
Secretly watching over Harry on Dumbledore's orders.
It's amazing, right? It reveals this hidden network of support
Right.
that's been working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Dumbledore, even in the face of the Ministry's denial,
Yeah.
is taking steps to protect Harry,
Right.
to prepare him.
Yeah.
And I think it also foreshadows the Order of the Phoenix,
Yes.
this secret society that's dedicated to fighting Voldemort.
Speaking of the Order, their headquarters, 12 Grimmauld Place,
Yeah.
is not just a safe house, it's almost a character
Yeah.
in itself. It's gloomy, it's full of secrets,
Yes.
haunted by all this family history, Sirius's family.
It really is. The house is like a reflection of the Order itself, burdened by the past,
Yes.
operating in the shadows,
Right.
struggling to maintain any kind of unity
Right.
when faced with danger.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Creature, right? The house elf
Yeah. Creature.
embodies that lingering prejudice
Right.
and darkness in the wizarding world.
Yeah.
And his blatant dislike for Harry,
Yeah.
his attachment to Sirius's mother,
Mm.
adds another layer of tension to the story.
It's clear that even within the Order, there are these complexities,
Totally.
conflicts that Harry has to navigate.
Yeah.
But at least he's with people that believe him,
Absolutely.
that understand the threat.
Exactly.
And this leads to the creation of Dumbledore's army,
Oh, yes.
which is such a brilliant act of rebellion against the Ministry's control.
Mhm.
It's not just about learning defensive magic.
It's about reclaiming their power
Yes.
that Umbridge and the Ministry are trying to suppress.
And Hermione's role in organizing
Is key.
the DA is crucial.
Absolutely. She represents the power of knowledge
Yeah. Right.
and strategic thinking
Yeah.
and unwavering loyalty,
Right.
qualities that become even more important as the stakes get higher.
Totally. And it's interesting how Rowling juxtaposes the seriousness of all this
Right.
with those moments of humor,
Yes.
like Fred and George and their pranks,
the mischief.
your line of joke products.
Right. It's that much needed release.
Yeah, it's tension release.
Yeah. It's that reminder that even in the face of darkness, there's still room for laughter, for defiance, for that spirit of youth that refuses to be completely extinguished.
Totally.
It also speaks to, I think, the resilience of the human spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the darkest of times, people find ways to cope, to resist,
Yeah.
to find joy, connection. And that's a powerful message, especially for young readers facing their own challenges.
Absolutely. But the story takes kind of a darker turn
Yeah.
when Hagrid returns from his mission to the Giants with his half-brother Grop, and we encounter the Thestrals for the first time.
The Thestrals.
Right.
What do you make of this introduction?
Well, on the surface, it seems like a bizarre kind of detour, right?
Yeah.
A bit of comic relief with Hagrid, struggling to control this
Right.
giant kind of dim-witted creature.
Right.
But there's a deeper significance, especially with the Thestrals.
I'm curious about your thoughts on this. I remember being creeped out
Yes.
when I first read the book. What's the deeper meaning
Right.
behind these creatures that are only visible to those who've seen death?
Right. They represent, I think, the acceptance of death, the ability to confront loss
Okay.
and move forward.
Okay.
And the fact that Harry can now see them,
Yeah.
I think, speaks volumes about his emotional journey.
Okay.
He's no longer that innocent boy who stepped onto platform 9 3/4 gay. He's experienced loss, faced his own mortality,
Right.
and that changes his perception of the world.
It's not just about seeing these creatures.
Exactly.
It's about seeing the world
Yes.
through this lens.
Through the lens of experience.
Show off
Of loss.
of kind of a deeper understanding
Exactly.
of that darkness.
Yes, and this newfound awareness,
Yeah.
this ability to see what others can't becomes crucial.
Okay.
As Harry delves deeper into the conflict with Voldemort, it foreshadows his growing understanding of the prophecy and the sacrifices he might have to make.
So we've got a ministry in denial, a secret society working in the shadows,
Yeah.
a school under siege,
Yeah.
and a teenage boy grappling with grief, anger, and a connection to the darkest wizard of all time.
Right.
Where do we go from here?
Well, things are about to get even more intense. Harry's connection to Voldemort intensifies, leading to those fraught occlumency lessons with Snape. Those visions, those glimpses into Voldemort's mind become more frequent,
Right.
more disturbing. And then there's the Department of Mysteries.
Right.
This place shrouded in secrecy, calling to Harry in his dreams. But I think we should save that part of the deep dive
Correct.
for next time. The Department of Mysteries.
Ooh, a fitting name, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely.
It really embodies that unknown,
Yeah.
the forbidden and the allure of secrets just waiting to be uncovered.
It's one of the most intriguing settings, I think, in the whole series.
Oh, for sure.
It's like stepping into a dreamscape
Yeah.
where physics and logic don't apply.
Right. And Rowling's description of the
Yeah.
Department of Mysteries, it's masterful.
Mhm.
She uses all those sensory details.
Yes.
The echoing silence, the flickering lights,
Oh, yeah.
that strange ethereal quality
Uh-huh.
to create this atmosphere of disorientation
Yeah.
and suspense.
You can just feel the tension building.
Oh, totally.
As Harry and his friends are going through those corridors,
Yeah.
not knowing what's around the corner.
Right. And then the Death Eaters appear.
Right.
And the dream becomes a nightmare.
Yes, exactly.
And the battle in the Department of Mysteries is significant for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
First, it really marks, I think, a turning point in Harry's understanding of this war against Voldemort.
He's not just a student anymore,
Right.
learning spells. He's facing real Death Eaters, experiencing the brutality and the chaos of magical combat firsthand.
Yeah, and the stakes are so high.
Oh, incredibly high.
They're not just fighting for their lives,
Right.
but they're trying to protect this prophecy
Yes.
that seems to hold the key to Harry's destiny
Uh-huh.
and the outcome of this war.
Exactly. And this prophecy, shrouded in mystery, ambiguity,
Yeah.
becomes a source of fascination
Yes.
and dread for Harry.
It's a lot to process,
Oh, absolutely.
especially for a teenager who's dealing with so much already.
Right. But even in the midst of this battle,
Yeah.
we see the courage, the loyalty of Harry's friends.
Right. Neville, Luna, Ginny,
Yes, they all step up.
they all step up, risking their lives to protect each other.
Exactly. And their actions highlight, I think, this theme
Okay.
of friendship as a source of strength
Okay.
and resilience. They're not just classmates anymore.
Yeah.
They're chosen family, bound by this shared sense of purpose.
And this willingness to fight for what they believe in.
Yeah, even when the odds are stacked against them.
Absolutely.
Huh.
But then tragedy strikes.
Yes.
Sirius, in a moment of, I think, reckless bravery,
Yeah.
falls through the veil.
And everything stops.
It's a loss that just shatters Harry.
Emotionally, and I think just his belief in the future.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Sirius's death is perhaps one of the most devastating moments in the series.
I think so.
It's not just the loss of a beloved character.
Right.
It's a loss of hope,
Yeah.
innocence, and the possibility of a normal life
Right.
for Harry.
And it's even more tragic
Yeah.
when you realize that his death
Yeah.
was in part because of Harry's impulsiveness.
Exactly. He was tricked by Voldemort, manipulated into rushing into danger,
Yeah.
and that guilt weighs heavily on Harry.
And this is such a crucial moment
Oh, absolutely.
for Harry
Yeah.
in his emotional development.
He's forced to confront the consequences of his actions,
Right.
the weight of responsibility,
Yeah.
and the reality that even in a world of magic,
Yeah.
some losses are irreversible.
And Dumbledore,
Yes.
in the aftermath of the battle, reveals the prophecy and the
Right.
connection between Harry and Voldemort.
The prophecy itself is a fascinating literary device.
Uh-huh.
It's a prediction and a curse, shaping the destinies of both Harry and Voldemort.
Right.
It raises those questions about fate versus free will,
Right.
the burden of expectation, the sacrifices you have to make for the greater good.
And it's so interesting that it emphasizes Harry's capacity for love,
Yes.
which is something that Voldemort just can't comprehend.
Right, and that gives him strength.
That's his strength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love, compassion, empathy.
Yeah.
These aren't weaknesses. They're
Right.
sources of strength.
Right.
Resilience, the ability to resist power
Yeah.
and darkness. This is a theme woven throughout the series,
Yes.
but never more potent than in Order of the Phoenix.
So Harry's reeling from this loss,
Yeah.
burdened by the weight of the prophecy, facing a ministry that's still in denial.
Right.
How does he cope?
Well, he finds solace in his friendships,
Okay.
in the support of the Order,
Yeah.
and his own growing determination to fight back.
Okay.
But the fight's far from over. Umbridge's tyranny at Hogwarts intensifies.
Right.
The Ministry's grip tightens,
Yeah.
and the lines between good and evil become increasingly blurred.
Yeah.
And remember, there's still a lot we haven't discussed, like
Oh, yeah.
those unsettling glimpses.
Yes, into Snape's past.
Yes, through those occlumency lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Those memories.
Yeah, those are crucial
Yeah.
to understanding Snape,
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
complexities.
Yes.
But I think we need to save that
Okay.
for the final part.
Sounds good.
We left off with Harry, like, really reeling from the loss of Sirius, burdened by this prophecy, and trapped in a school that feels more like a prison.
Right.
It's interesting, I think, how Rowling shows the toll that this takes on Harry.
Oh, absolutely. We see him battling anger, grief, and just this growing sense of isolation.
Yeah.
And the occlumency lessons with Snape become this battleground,
Yes.
not just for control of Harry's mind,
Right.
but for their own unresolved past as well.
In those memories,
Yes.
Harry accidentally sees
So unsettling.
glimpses into Snape's childhood,
Right.
his relationship with his parents,
Yeah.
his connection to Lily, Harry's mother. It's like,
It's like watching a tragedy unfold.
yeah.
It's brilliant how Rowling layers in this complexity. Snape, who initially seems like this
Right, like a one-dimensional
antagonist,
guy.
right, becomes a much more nuanced,
Yeah.
even sympathetic figure.
Hey.
We see how his past experiences, his own encounters with loss and prejudice have shaped him.
It really makes you question, like, everything you thought you knew about him.
Totally.
Is he truly evil, or is he just deeply wounded?
Exactly. It
Yeah.
raises these questions about the nature of good and evil,
Yeah,
the
right.
choices we make, and the lasting impact of our experiences.
Yeah.
And those glimpses into Snape's past also foreshadow, I think,
Right.
the crucial role he'll play in the fight against Voldemort.
It's like little puzzle pieces.
Yes.
These hints
Dribble glue?
that we don't understand till later.
Right.
And while Harry's dealing with all this, Umbridge is like
Umbridge.
tightening her grip on Hogwarts, turning the school into
Right.
this microcosm of oppression.
Umbridge is a brilliant villain
Yeah.
in a terrifying kind of way.
Oh, yeah.
She represents the dangers of blind obedience, the abuse of authority,
Yes.
the suppression of truth. Her actions at Hogwarts mirror so many real-world tactics
Totally.
used by totalitarian regimes to control information and silence dissent.
And it's chilling
Yes.
how she uses these seemingly innocent things, the
Yeah.
educational decrees, the pink decor,
The pink?
to create this atmosphere of fear
Yes.
and control, and how she targets Hagrid. Oh, Hagrid.
Who represents, like,
Right.
a connection to nature, a different way of learning.
Exactly. And Hagrid's persecution, I think, is symbolic of the Ministry's attempt to just stamp out any form of individuality.
Right.
Free thinking. They fear anything that challenges their authority, anything that doesn't fit into their worldview.
And it's in this environment that the students' rebellion really takes root.
Dumbledore's army.
Yeah, the BA becomes more than just a club.
It becomes a symbol of resistance, a
Yes.
testament to the power of courage and unity in the face of oppression.
They refuse to be pawns
Absolutely.
in the Ministry's game.
And they fight for their right to learn, to
Yeah.
protect themselves, to
Mhm.
stand up for what they believe in, even if it means breaking the rules.
And how can we forget Fred and George?
Oh, the twins.
Their glorious exit from Hogwarts.
That fireworks display, their
Yeah.
defiance of Umbridge, it's just pure joy.
It's a reminder that
Mhm.
even in dark times,
Right.
laughter and mischief can be powerful weapons against tyranny.
Exactly. And then we have that moment, that vision of Sirius being tortured,
Oh, yes.
that really pushes Harry to the brink.
It's a testament to how well Rowling understands the psychology of fear and manipulation.
Right.
Voldemort preys on Harry's love for Sirius.
His guilt over Cedric, his
Listen,
need to protect the people he cares about.
and it's just this brilliant plot device,
Mm-hmm.
a masterclass in suspense building.
Totally.
We're right there with Harry,
Yeah.
feeling that anxiety, the
Yeah.
urgency, his willingness to risk everything to save Sirius.
And that journey to the Ministry, the encounter with the Thestrals,
Yeah.
that descent into the Department of Mysteries, it's like
It's like a descent into the underworld.
it's a journey into the heart of the conflict.
Absolutely, into the hidden depths of the magical world.
Yeah.
And ultimately into Harry's own subconscious,
Right.
the Department of Mysteries, with its strange rooms,
Mhm.
enigmatic artifacts. It represents the unknown, the forbidden, the mysteries of magic.
Right. And it's all a trap.
Of course.
The battle with the Death Eaters,
Yeah.
it's just brutal
Brutal, chaotic,
and just heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. Sirius falls through the veil.
And Harry's world is shattered.
It's a loss that will forever mark him.
It's a turning point in the series.
Oh, absolutely.
It takes away any of that childhood innocence
Strips it right away.
that Harry had left.
Forces him to confront the true cost of this war.
Yeah.
The sacrifices, the power of grief and loss.
But even in the face of this devastating loss,
Yeah,
there is hope.
there is.
Voldemort's return is finally revealed.
To the Ministry.
They can't deny it anymore.
Right, the truth is out there, the lines are drawn.
This is the beginning of the end.
Yes, the war is no longer a shadow, it's a full-blown conflict.
Order of the Phoenix leaves us with this feeling of both despair
Yeah.
and determination. Harry is scarred, but
But he's resolute.
he knows what he has to do.
Yeah.
Even if it's dangerous, uncertain.
Absolutely, it's a story that stays with you.
Oh, yeah.
A story about loss, grief, the struggle to find hope in the face of darkness. But it's also a story about courage, about friendship, about love's power to overcome even the most daunting challenges.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Order of the Phoenix, we leave you with this question. What sources of strength and resilience do you draw on when facing your own personal battles? And how do you find hope in the face of adversity? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the magic alive.